Hey guys, good evening. Hot mess, and I'm in my PJs. Look, so this is what you get today. This is for a really, really long time, and I think it's just time that I talk about it a little bit. So I don't know if any of you know, but I struggle with anxiety. It's something that I've struggled with, not forever, but it is something that I have struggled with for about 6 months now. I've struggled with depression for the last few years, like I'd say like the last 3 years consistently, and like I used to struggle with it in the really bad as well. And today, I'm not gonna lie, I have good days, I have okay days, and I have bad days. And today was just a really, really bad day. And I wanted to just jump on here and kind of talk about it because I know it's something a lot of people suffer with, but I don't think people want to talk about it very much. I think people who have it would like to talk about it, but maybe they're scared that people think they just want attention or that they're overreacting. And I can promise you, whoever has anxiety, like the last thing they want is attention, because for me, that just stresses me out, and like everyone kind of wanting me all at once. And I'm not gonna lie, PM to like 8:20, I was like on my floor in my living room, like crying. I literally like broke down, and it's because when you have anxiety, I'm just going to describe what it is for me because I don't know what it's like for anybody else. I know it could be different for everybody, but for me, it's like describe it as if there's like a war going on in your head. Your brain is like beating the crap out of you, or the anxiety, or whatever it is that goes on up here. I don't exactly know what causes it, but it's like your brain is like saying, no, you have to figure out these situations that we're throwing at you now. And they're not even like really bad situations that I'm thinking of. It's like really mundane stuff. Like, and when I start to feel better, I think, why was that so bad? Like, why was I getting so freaked out over that? Before I finally I just broke down and I cried on my living room floor now. And I was like, and I feel a little bit better now for it. And I just kind of wanted to just jump on and just kind of bring some awareness to it, because it's something that, like, I used to have this friend who she used to suffer with anxiety, and I didn't know anything about it then. And I remember we went on holiday together, and we went to this place, and she, I think I remember just walking off, like, you're an adult, aren't you? I was thinking, calm down. Things like people leave me, and I was like, wow, like, I had no idea back then of like what. Sorry, it keeps saying it's trying to reconnect, so I don't know if it keeps freezing or not, but I'm gonna try and keep talking anyway. And she was like, no, I don't like it when people just leave me. I was like, wow, okay. I was like, I never knew you suffered with that. I mean, I knew she was a bit depressed, and she's like, oh, it's not something you really talk about, is it? I was like, oh, okay, like, sorry. Like, I didn't really think, I was like really ignorant to it back then. And I was like, now I'm thinking like, no, I guess people don't understand into huge things that, and then you can't unless you're talking to someone who has it too. And even then, I imagine that it's different for everybody. But for me, it feels like there's a constant war in my head, and it does make my life very hard sometimes. It makes me grouchy. It makes me grouchy with my kids because they're wanting me. Like, I'm dealing with all these possible scenarios in my head that could happen. And it's not even like it's really bad stuff that could happen. I don't worry that made them be rude to me. Is it something, have I offended them? Did they just not obsess over it for like 2 weeks? And then that person's like probably not even thinking of me. They're probably just having a bad day or whatever. But I'll think it's all about me. Like, I don't mean that to sound conceited or like self-involved, but I'll think, oh, there's something about me that person doesn't like. Or even if someone, just like really like everyday random stuff that most people wouldn't even think of. Like, someone with anxiety, your brain blows it up and obsesses. I'd have been like, oh my god, what's happened? And I wouldn't have been able to explain it. Inspired to kind of come on here and kind of talk about it. It's not something that I think really gets talked about. I don't see like posts on Facebook about it much, and it's not something I think people would rather not talk about. It's quite uncomfortable to talk about. I mean, I was kind of like looking at the live button, like, shall I do it? But I could really, if I like help someone else who might have it, like silence, I might not have anything to say. But I think like he suggested it to me, so that's really it. I didn't want to kind of be on here rambling about it like for too long. But yeah, it is a really kind of difficult thing to go through, and so if you do suffer with it, just know you're not alone. Like, you're not crazy, even if you like feel like you are sometimes. I definitely feel like I'm going crazy sometimes, but I do feel better. I feel better now that I've kind of got on and talked about it. I think I'll put this on my YouTube as well, because you never know who might stumble across it, and you know, it is quite a lonely thing, as it's not something that's easy to talk about. Okay guys, I'm going to get off here. If you would do me a favour and just kind of maybe share this with someone else that, you know that they're not up here. Thank you so much. So many of you jumped on, I can see. Oh, thank you so much.